Hello there everyone and welcome back. I'm going to try one more time with this fleet with the Vauls and Hellbore, although I already got maybe an iteration that I would like to play test in the future. I am not going to be doing another video with the Corsairs afterwards though, since I feel like there have been requests for some other factions to be utilized, so this will be on hold. But I am eager in the potential still of the frigates. They have a lot more durability, arguably more firepower with good use of the star cannons, and of course just being smaller profile and their higher mobility makes it realistically only lances could do damage to them, which should help their longevity tremendously, at least when you compare to Auroras. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to commit more to trying to spread up my Vauls and group them up with the Hellbore, with the exception of the flagship since it's going to have the extended range, and hopefully that gives me a little more power and doesn't really burden me if my opponent decides to aggressively chase after my cruisers. That seems like it could be a bit problematic, as we kind of saw a little bit. I'm not able to do the damage, let alone get through the shields. And another factor I didn't really consider is this Spear Crystal lens doesn't actually work with the frigates. So that is a big deterrent, but it's not a significant one at least, since I'm relying heavily on pulsars anyway. And with their 20-second reload, I'm not likely to continue to pause their shields, and even then, my Vauls have star cannons to back them up if they can continue hitting to at least pause that shield regeneration. So, I think we're still okay, it's just something I hadn't really considered in all seriousness. So, gotta pay attention to how much that may be a factor. But let's continue on, shall we? Okay, Necrons. This can be fun for me since we don't have to worry about the shields in this fight. Although, with their inertialess drive, and the fact they can regenerate their health, although that's not a big deal with the Spear Crystal lenses, keep in mind, that can be negated some. So long as I can keep hitting them, that's when it's a factor. And we talked about that already in the pre-show, or at least the introduction at least. But with that said, I have to take the inertialess drive very seriously, because if my opponent gets aggressive on me, they can do a lot of damage with their lightning arcs. I can mitigate it pretty well because the hull field's like the only a defense in the entire game that can actually make those lightning arcs miss, I believe. Asteroid belts might be another factor. I don't know exactly how it is. I just know lightning arcs, their macro weaponry, just has a 100% chance of hitting. And I'm curious, Wraithbone Reinforcement could be useful here, just to take the initial hits, but I'm just wondering alternatives. There isn't a whole lot of alternatives, because Disruption Bomb, with since I have Spear Crystal lenses, that's not a big deal. Unless I want to keep them still, that's a possibility, I guess. There is value in the Stasis Bomb in that. And actually, I have not been paying attention to the objectives either. So, with that said, let's get going. And I'll group up the Vauls eventually. So we're seeing 3 ships here. No clue what that other one is just yet. And I'm not planning on using torpedoes very often, as amazing as they would be. So I think I can get away with not destroying the deck, since it's the inertialess jump or inertialess drive that is the most threatening. I won't argue, and you are actually faster than the other ships, so what does that tell me? Not really a lot yet, and I should have done a Wraithbone shift as well, but not a big deal at the moment. If anything, I should make myself ready to jump, whatever is here. Let me try jump whatever frigate that is and work from there. And my Vauls can focus on getting objectives, which they can do really damn well.
You have seized a strategic area.
I just am wondering if this is like 1 or 2 frigates. I would love to somehow snipe this, but that's a very difficult thing to do. I'm half paranoid it's a light cruiser with mass recall, because if I boost in there, that can go terribly. Although I am going to get revealed in a moment, so I think I'm okay with that. Although I'm not doing nearly the damage I would like, but it did scare him off at least, which helps.
We move together.
You have seized a strategic area.
And I have the means to salt run. I just gotta actually get out of reach, and that's okay. Particle whip, or yeah, that was the particle whip. I just wasn't seeing if that was the arc propagator though.
Unseen and silent.
But this was a good opportunity to maybe hit them. I should have revealed that ship to open up a possibility to do damage. I potentially still can, with that said.
Flee. Enemy in our sight.
Sadly, I had to get a fire assault there, but
Obey.
everything's hitting. There is a fire assault, gotta be mindful of that. And we'll see about crippling these.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, I for some reason was thinking stasis bomb. That was a mistake there.
Taking new position.
I want to find one with this, with the ability to just reveal or scan or pulse.
We move together.
So this might hurt a bit.
Ride the solar winds.
I'm wondering what happened to my flagship not using its shift or falls maneuver. That caught me completely off guard there.
Ride the solar winds.
Either way, that was a good amount of damage early on. I don't think the boarding's going to really do anything of note, but
This day.
if I could kill some more, then that adds a little bit to my advantage. Especially with this mutiny.
New position.
The boarding damage might pay off there. If I'm at risk of killing the crew, never mind, that's not needed either.
Acknowledged.
So I don't know if that was a
You
regular
have
cruiser.
accumulated 25%
I wasn't paying
of
attention,
strategic
honestly. It had, I was attacking from the side. I only saw the particle whip, so I want to say maybe it was only a cruiser. Because battle cruisers have the means to shoot 270 degrees. Excuse me, 270 degrees.
Enemy in our sight.
So everything's concealed. Yeah, I'm gonna get revealed, that's okay. To an extent. Because this is gonna be some good pulsar damage. Okay, so these are just regular cruisers at the moment, because then there would have been lightning arcs, I think, shoot at me.
Until the
And this is not going to be pretty, folks.
void is our home. Yes, Commander.
Good damage still, but I gotta try and stall this out. Because my Maelstrom is my best source of damage here.
Until the end.
No. And there still are a couple frigates, too, to kind of reveal me.
Yes, Commander.
And there are... No, this is just a lower level fleet, so this may not be as exciting as it could be, with the potential of arc propagator and all that, but... Let's see about killing these. Oh god. Well, that's embarrassing. I hit myself with torpedoes. It did terrify him, at least. Alright, I think the plan is now we grab objectives. Do what little damage we can. I think I may have accidentally rammed myself, but do what little damage we can. Since I am pausing the shield recharge after all. Again, gotta be mindful of that inertialist drive. Actually, let me just grab these 3 points. That's probably better for me. If my opponent wants to get those 2 points, I can get these 3. And with that said, well, yeah, I'm going to switch to reload, speed up their recharge on the combustion gauge. There are still 2 frigates around, I believe. So let's not get complacent. And yeah, having them revealed is not a big deal. For the moment. Actually, yeah, these frigates can just get on out in a moment once the cruisers get here. I'm going to have to be quick with what I'm doing because my opponent is turning around. Which actually works even better for me because that means them just denying them points as opposed to them just negating mine, or at least just putting us on equal footing.
Setting sail.
I just need gas clouds, somewhere to hide, and a convenient spot to reveal them. Because not seeing their silhouettes is a burden.
Yes, Commander. The void is our home.
Alright.
Yes,
I almost want to
Commander.
engage and kill off that cruiser, but the battleship could just jump right in.
Taking new position.
I feel like I would win that engagement.
As the
I
fates
could.
decree.
But remember, most of this damage was just from the tomb ship, I believe. And that was with me just running away as soon as it revealed itself. So let's not get too carried away, as eager as I may be for this potential damage. But hitting it still helps.
We obey.
Especially with a permanent deck destruction, since they just used the,
Move together.
was it structural reconstitution? I forget what the ability's called. And dang it,
Yes, Commander.
if that was the other one, that's the other one doesn't have it on cooldown anyway, so it's gonna burn to death regardless, I think.
Winds fill our sails.
This is a big mistake if this goes badly. But I think the torpedoes might prompt them to run,
Position.
and then I maelstrom them immediately after, I think. Nope. It does prompt the other ship, though. Yeah, there's all that damage just in me. Actually, let me kill this ship now. If it doesn't die, then I'm on a terrible position.
Fire at will.
The enemy has accumulated
I need to kill it,
25%
hands down.
strategic points. You
And
have
also, are these
accumulated
ships getting shot at? I wasn't paying
strategic
attention.
points.
Alright. What was looking really terrible for me because of what I just told you all 2-3 minutes ago,
We obey.
we're now in a good spot. I'm about to get this third point. They have none at the moment. I'm still wondering where the hell the frigates are, though. So I should start scanner pulsing for them, because
Taking
I
new
refuse to believe I
position.
killed them all, right? There was 3 of them there when I revealed them.
Ride the solar winds.
And this is going to start jumping, and of course the flagship does give away my position slightly,
As the
which isn't a
fates
big deal.
decree,
It might tempt them to do something rash.
we move together.
I would love to damage the engine, though.
Ride
Since
the
that,
solar winds.
yep, that's kind of what I was expecting there.
The void is our home.
It does have the damage. We could conceal ourselves, and it's out of the fight for about 2-3 minutes. I just gotta conceal the ship, or it's gonna die with them.
Until the end. Ride
Actually,
the
can I
solar
swap
winds.
positions? Actually, maybe I could do a little bit of hull damage to kind of, since I got that breathing room.
Decree.
Maybe I might get a critical hit if I'm so lucky. Well, I did get a critical hit, just not the one I was looking for.
This was but a feint. The true strike will follow.
Alright,
Yes,
grab the
Commander.
point. We'll have 3 objectives, or all 5 objectives at this point.
Move together.
That is a lot of the reason why I'm terrified of
You have
them just
seized
jumping
a
on me, because they
strategic
could do an
area.
absurd amount of damage. And keep in mind, Star Pulse generators normally a really bad ability to use in such an aggressive manner,
Taking new
since armor
position.
mitigates the damage it can do.
You have seized
But even
a
then,
strategic area.
it's a big deal, actually. Do I even want to tempt fate?
Setting sail.
Well, I'm basically in a position where I'm going to win no matter what, I want to argue, so let's see if we can kill this off properly. The best way to do this, though, is to actually
You have
split up my fleet and
accumulated
bait
75% of strategic
the star,
points.
was it? The inertialist drive on this thing. At least the one that has the health for it. And then this other one will at least be safe from dying.
Swiftly. Ride
Yeah, we're
the
destroying a
solar
couple of weapons,
winds.
which is kind of convenient.
As the fates decree. Yes, Commander.
The enemy has
Nope, I let the
50%
ship get
of
rammed. That was a
strategic
bit of a mistake there. I don't want to.
Lost a ship.
I don't want to jinx this yet.
We move together. Ride the solar winds. Setting sail.
Alright. I'm done typing. I'm hoping. Because I don't think I'm going to realistically
You are
kill this
close
thing
to
anytime
victory by
soon.
strategic points.
But I am going to get the objective victory, so I'm fine with that.
We obey.
But that almost was a nightmare. That almost backfired horribly.
We serve. As the fates
Alright.
decree.
I'm done typing. I'm done talking. I am still worried that this could be a terrible defeat for me after all, since this thing did have to just touch the Tesseract Vault. And especially with me accidentally scuttling, I don't need to tell you how badly that can go. It's still tense, and if they... I'm just wondering, if this was a leveled up fleet,
Our escort
what
has
other
been
abilities would they have? I don't believe the Scarab Swarm would be good since it's so convenient for me to just get a range, but it would also repair their ships quite a bit. Actually, let me have a quick look. I'm just curious, what would Necrons use? Like I said, Scarab Swarm could be good, but realistically you should only expect it to actually heal or repair your ships and do very minor damage to your opponent because of what I just said. They had Resurrection Orb, but because of their lower level, there wasn't really much alternatives. Yeah, that's the only thing I could really think of. Outside of Mass Recall, that could have been devastating. Especially with the Tomb Ship just jumping in there, and then Mass Recall. So that way both the cruisers would have their inertialist drive available when I tried to run away. That could be terrifying. That is definitely a trepidatious and not a very comfortable match for me. And you kind of see in a little bit of why that is. Structural Analyzer could be amazing just because the additional critical hit chance on the lightning arcs. That's self-explanatory. The Unstable Pulse Core, which normally I don't think this is a good upgrade to get, actually did notable amount of damage, or at least helped a little bit, against my fleet. I'm just wondering what else. Maybe better regeneration is an option. I have good bravery, so I don't think Nightmare Shroud's useful. Eldritch Bridge could be amazing here. This is the one situation where I think Eldritch Bridge could be useful. The reason why I say that, every time I use my Wraithbone Shift or my Falls Maneuver, there's a tiny period where I lose the 100% charge of my Hollow Field. And when it's not fully charged, you are allowed to do lightning strikes on your opponent. And with Corsairs having such poor crew complement in general, this has the potential to wipe out one of my cruisers if all the battleships, if all the Necron fleet rather, are able to board me at that instant. So this could be terrifying. And Arc Propagator definitely has some use, because even though it may not do a lot of damage, never mind the Hall Field, more chances to get critical hits is never a bad thing. Alright, this will be terrifying. Tyranids. Another opponent I don't recognize, but it goes without saying, if I ever let them board me, that ship is as good as dead. It doesn't matter if it's a frigate or a cruiser, basically. Since what, a battle cruiser itself can do what? 12 points of crew damage just with the broadside boarding, so right off the bat, that's 2/3 of my crew, I think, right there. Never mind the very minute chance that they can get a critical boarding action in for an additional point of crew damage or 2. So, this is terrifying. I have beacons, I'll have a lot of scanner pulses, so I should be okay. It's just a question on how well can I isolate and focus down at least the capital ships. Or at least have easy windows to shoot down their frigates or krakens if they have any. And in this case, I definitely want the stasis bomb just so I have more breathing room. Necrons can just jump out of it, even if I do get them trapped in a bomb. Tyranids at least get slowed down, even if they were to rush. So I think I'm okay with that. Now, how do I want to organize my fleet? Because honestly, I did a terrible job trying to get my fleet all together, or at least spread the Vauls with the frigates. But that's mainly because I tried to be the aggressor and try and punish the amount of frigates that were, or at least the frigate grabbing the point. And sadly, with their AC armor, it wasn't meant to be. But we'll see how this goes. Oh wait, I want the beacon, keep that in mind. Stupid me. I'm getting ahead of myself, although stasis bomb still would be nice. Maelstrom without that would be amazing here. Yeah, because I have no fighters for convenience, I do still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Like, of course, I can listen for them. I don't want to run into here, and I gotta keep in mind my latency. Since my opponent's the host there, and that's why, someone commented on that, that's why my ship's names are so different here, is because my opponent is probably from Asia or somewhere in one of the Asian countries. I couldn't tell you if it's Mandarin, Japanese, or what, though. It's the only downside. And with that said, I want to listen for any rushes. They could have silent rushes. There is a bug in that. They could be silent even if they're boosting forward. But I still want to try and prepare for the possibility that they are silent.
You have seized a strategic
So I would love to jump you. I think it's a given. I am giving away my position a tiny bit, but this beacon could reveal them for me without needing the scanner pulse. Any free damage is good damage. Again, they could be silent. So while this thing's still deploying, oh, my opponent's running away. Well, that's convenient. Is a Vanguard, though? A Strangled Tentacle one? Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yep, latency is gonna hurt me here a bit, but since these are all Vanguards, they only have 200 hit points. I don't need to tell you how amazingly those are gonna die. Now, with that said, there goes a lot of their scouts. The Gambit thankfully pays off there, but I think that also gave away a little bit where most of their fleet's hiding. I'm just not going to get this objective yet anytime soon. Alright, my opponent gave away where they are, I just need a window to reveal them. So it's looking like the Power Asset type of fleet, but instead of Krakens, they have really fragile Vanguards. Which, there is some reason why they have Vanguards. Or, yeah, those were Vanguards, right? In that, Tyranids can only shoot at the closest ship in range. And Vanguards are the only way to kind of overrule that trait of theirs. But let's see. We're okay here. I'm going to have to forfeit the point. But actually, I don't have to, because they probably would have to avoid it as well because of the beacon. Again, just gotta be mindful of the dang. Oh, there we are. Well, that's convenient. And again, I could just turn and maneuver and maybe do something here. I have a pretty good time just dodging these based on my own movement. Again, latency could be a factor that I'm not privy to and not considering. Yeah, that was scared about. I just haphazardly false maneuvered and immediately did a Wraithbone shift. If latency didn't register the Wraithbone shift first, that could have been fatal for those 3 ships.
You have seized a strategic area.
Ride the solar winds.
So I think now is the time to group these ships up appropriately. And then work from there. They are, because if they're going to group up, I can punish that some. I'm just going to have a tricky time hitting them, though, with that said. And I don't want to grab a points. Where's the beacon? Where's the beacon? Where's the beacon? I don't see the beacon. I hate that. I don't know why it's bugged out, but it may have to do something with the gas cloud. That's a possibility. But I don't like it one bit. But I still have 2 points there, so I am doing a light bit of damage, but nothing too exciting yet. So you're gonna rush. So let's try and make them pay for that. I'm waiting for the next rush, but if you're not going to rush, that's fine. I'll force you to rush. Although, did latency just screw me over? Yes, it did. Oh, that was close. You do not have the synaptic link, so if I can kill this thing, that's amazing. And you have no point defense. Murder it now. Oh god, that was terrifying. I think my opponent is still frustrated as all hell, but I was still terrified. That Vaul would have immediately died if it got rushed, if it got hit by the ramming spurs. No question about it. It still wouldn't have been terrible because I had an amazing window to do damage. I just thankfully was patient enough to not burn the Maelstrom, just out of panic. Waiting for them to do the mistake did it for me. And because they had no synaptic link, sadly I did not see what their admiral level was if they could even get it, but that killed off the flagship, and that was a big deal. Alright, I guess we're getting our same Tyranid adversary here. I'm still terrified, I am still worried, but at least they had a proper theme, I suppose, to their fleet. Only thing I could really criticize is that Krakens are so damn useful, as opposed to the Vanguards. Never mind the hit point pool and the convenience of Maelstrom just murdering all of them. The Krakens just have that absurd durability, they have the health regeneration, but at the same time they're not really all that great against Corsairs, I suppose. So it's more of a benefit to them than it is for me. And I am the host this time, okay. I don't have to panic. Although now it makes me feel a little bit bad that my opponent's the one who may suffer from latency. Even though it may not be as important to them. Although, same strategy as before. Just force them to burn their movement and use that to signal my attack run. All the while just grabbing the points as usual. I almost want to have all these frigates go together in one clump. Since if my opponent decides to try and grab the points early like they did with the frigates, I might be able to kill one or two of them off easily enough. While my cruisers are busy grabbing these 2 points in back, and if I'm so lucky, maybe the middle point. Either way, we'll see if my luck holds out this time around. You think it should, just due to the latency not being an issue. Alright, so we know where to at. So I'm just going to make this easy. And keep in mind where these fighters are going. So they're just going grabbing point. They're just going out in the middle of nowhere, which is unfortunate for me since I don't really have gas clouds to conveniently fall back to. Not until I get to the middle of the map, which can be a problem.
You have seized a strategic area.
At least I can dodge these fighters really well. I just don't know where these other ones are because they hit in the gas cloud. I don't know if that's like a bug or what. It seems like a cool feature, but when you can actually hear them, it seems more like a bug. I would just have to hover over here and listen for when a hive ship launches the fighters in the gas cloud, really.
We move together.
Either way, I'm not hearing any more rushes. Well, that answers that predicament.
As the fates decree.
You have seized
And do I avoid getting detected? I thankfully avoid getting detected, maybe.
Until the end.
And Beacon does spot them. Again, it's going to be really risky to try and engage them.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And I'm okay with grabbing this point quickly. I probably should try and grab the point quickly before they start getting up here. Because this beacon is really good insurance that that the hive ships are behind it as opposed to just flanking around. I just gotta be fast about this because I don't have a stasis bomb to give me that breathing room.
Enemy in our sight. We move together as the fates decree. Until the end.
We got some good hits in, although we're not out of this yet.
Before all is lost. Swiftly.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Fire torpedoes force it to take evasive maneuvers it may not want to. Because these are the kind of aggressive plays that we punish. This is why Corsairs can be so devastating if done right. Of course, it turns out to be a big mistake doing such an aggressive play, but nope, we're not out of it yet. I still have to burn their morale. They have a lot of morale to deal with still.
Enemy in our sight.
Now, with these vanguards here, these need to be dealt with. And apparently I was wrong. They're not all pyre acid type of hive ships. I thought they were, but that's not the case, and with their flagship gone,
New position.
I could just snipe these guys down really quickly with their low morale.
Ride the solar wind.
You have accumulated 25%.
The spore field makes it a little bit awkward though.
Yes, Commander. We have withdrawn as the seer foretold.
Can I dodge out? Nope. Still gotta maneuver. Still gotta wait a couple seconds. Well, I might as well ram it if you're gonna just conveniently all break on me. I will accept that. I just gotta make sure I hit the one I want, though. Which is probably not a good situation here. We're not out of it yet, but it feels like if I don't pay attention for a moment, this could fall against me, or at least become a big disaster. My opponents stopped controlling their fleet. I fear we may be getting some rage in a moment. Alright, get on out. Thankfully, the flagship's still alive, so having the convenience of the extra range is nice, but I'm waiting for that to rush. And that is why the latency is such an important factor. I am now out of the boarding range, at least.
Enemy in our sight.
The
Which
enemy
makes
has
a big deal.
accumulated 25%
And again,
of
I can
strategic
pause their
points.
shield regeneration so easily, which is a factor as well.
Setting sail.
Yep. And you could have been using that to kill my crew, but it did prompt you to get the boring damage in.
This was but a feint. The true strike will follow. We obey.
Can this do the damage needed? I doubt it will, but it's good damage with that said.
Swiftly.
And these frigates are not going to be doing a whole lot of damage either. Yeah, I actually only have 2 cruisers at the moment. Oh, Feral Instincts, so that's out of the fight. I will happily accept that result. I kind of forgot about you a tiny bit, that was even a thing.
Swiftly.
Because that alone would probably make this a lot more complicated, even though that thing is close to death.
As the fates decree.
Again, it's just no pyre asset for me to contend and worry about.
Yes, Commander.
So I'm just going to wait till the shields are gone. Or hell, if it boosts, that would be perfect.
Together
Because I have a Maelstrom now available.
as the fates decree.
I'm waiting for the boost. I am not going to do anything too reckless or careless until you do that. And thankfully you're not killing the crew. So yeah, it is a less experienced opponent, so... But they are double rushing out, so this is still could be bad. Damn it. I was hoping the false maneuver would work a little bit better, it didn't. Because now the flagship wasn't able to do anything of note. We're done though. They didn't have the synaptic link. That still was anybody's game, I won't lie. Since if that one hive ship was able to deal with my two cruisers, then I am not able to win the objective game. My opponent can grab them so much more quickly, especially with the potential of double rushes. So that's still terrifying, despite the lower skilled, or at least, well, not lower skilled, but disorganized fleet, I want to say. Because imagine how much more dangerous that would be if Pyrases was shooting at me all that time. Never mind the potential crew damage of the Strangle Tentacles, although they were still getting value out of the pool, I suppose. They were still getting the boarding results because of that tentacle. So maybe I shouldn't mock them too badly. I apologize.